Hello everyone, this is Black Sage D here, and I'm just going to get right into it. Now, I want you to take a look at this tweet. This is from an artist named Mr. SJW, and what you see right here is the fan art of the latest Star Wars movie, Rise of the Skywalker, featuring Rey with a more well-endowed features, to say the least. And I want you to take a look at all of these tweets and all of these responses to this picture. Yeah. I want you to take a look at this other tweet. Is a fan art redesign of Captain Marvel by the artist named Pablo Romero. And you can see that the comment section isn't too nice to this guy either. I mean, do you see the ongoing trend here? You can already tell by the thumbnail from this video. You can already kind of tell what this subject matter is going to be about, so let's get right into it. Now, I did censor other people's names, but this comment right here, this is right here. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to censor this person's name because I find it utterly reprehensible that you would threaten violence towards somebody just for drawing a character in a certain way that you don't like. And again, I want to stress, do not harass this person for making this comment. Call them out on it, yes, but do not harass this person because I find it utterly sad that somebody would be this insecure in their own artistic merit that they would have to tear other people down just to make themselves feel better. And it honestly says more about their lack of talent than somebody else's. I just wanted to highlight this tweet just to call out this person. For what I've looked in this art book, the character designs are actually fairly exaggerated and over the top, which is nothing wrong with that, especially if you're trying to go for a unique art style. But that's beside the case. Anyway, let me get right back to the main point of this video. Today, I want to talk about a recent trend that's been going on, especially on Twitter, with artists being harassed on the internet for basically drawing women and female characters in general in a certain way. Now, as far as I can remember, I used to remember that art was supposed to be about free expression and basically reversing any taboos that might be set by modern society. And it used to be a great trend of thought amongst many artists, especially with internet artists. But today, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I'm seeing a disturbing amount of Puritans on the internet that are way more concerned about a female character's appearance than other pressing matters that's going on in the world, especially among people who are quite honestly fairly young and should honestly be way more accepting of nudity and sexuality than any other generation in past history. I've been seeing a lot of distressing comments on the internet basically saying that, ooh, her breasts are too big, or oh my goodness, what happened to her organs, or are you a pedophile? You drew this character in a petite fashion, and a lot of other goofy bullshit like this. And it's quite honestly getting pretty disturbing. And I'm not going to say I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I can probably guess that this recent wave of Puritanism within the anime community pretty much coincided with the recent Tumblr purge that happened in late 2018 last year. And that's pretty much the only reason why I'm seeing a lot of these bad art takes, especially on the internet these days. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm a huge frequent visitor of Tumblr, but it seems to me that I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about that site. Basically hearing that a lot of artists there are basically insufferable to the point where artists are basically either quitting Tumblr or being driven to the point of suicide. And that probably is what led to the purge of pornography on Tumblr. Now these people are not satisfied with banning porn on Tumblr. Now they have to bring their poison onto Twitter. And I'm seeing a lot of bad outrage on artists who innocently just draw pinup pictures of just women in general, no matter the context or who it's for. Funnily enough, the main people that I see engaging in this type of behavior basically belonging to three groups of people. Number one are insecure teenage girls with body issues. Number two are basically clout chasing jackasses who want to get their dicks wet by feminists. And number three are 20 to 30 year old white women with a chip on their shoulder thinking that feminism is going to give them the world and over. And it's not just that, it's the fact that many Japanese artists are now being harassed on Twitter, basically getting their art called child porn, or saying things like, oh, she's not anatomically correct, or she defies the basic human body, or where's the realism, and a lot of other stupid stuff like that, and it's getting tiresome. I've seen a lot of these comments, mostly talking about fictional characters adhering to realistic standards, which is absolutely insane because of the fact that it's fiction. It doesn't have to adhere to reality. It can adhere to whatever you want to be. You shouldn't have to listen to these people because their opinions are worthless. Because the last time we listened to these people, we had basically Marvel Comics and DC Comics damn near basically shutting down because they're not selling any comic books. So what these people have to say are basically worthless, because if we left it to them, we would basically have the absolute death of art. Now, I'm glad that people are pushing back against this, but honestly, I'm pissed the fuck out that this even has to even be said. Art should never have to be held back by moral standards, no matter what it may seem like. Most people will always go for the stylistic choice rather than realism. It's because of the fact that it doesn't veer into the uncanny valley, and it doesn't remind people so much about the real world. And that's why this strive for realism, especially in Western entertainment, is so disastrous, because it gives a general audience the preconceived notions that fiction does correlate with reality when that's not the case. And it's actually getting quite scary how many grown adults out there who genuinely cannot tell the difference between fiction and reality and think that fiction is going to make people commit certain crimes. Look at how many people freaked out about the Joker, and then nothing happened. The Joker literally became one of the best-selling R-rated movies of all time, and people were going absolutely bonkers because they thought that the Joker was going to inspire mass shootings and, oh, it's an incel movie or something of that nature. And that's the same type of energy I have to give to these people on the internet. Why do we live in a world where a guy will get lambasted for drawing a picture when there are much worse things that can happen to women out in the real world? I really don't understand this. How basically there are a lot of women who basically get sold into sex trafficking, being raped, being beaten, and basically being treated like human garbage. But a drawing is supposed to hurt women more? Really? Well, here's the news flash for you people. Drawings are not going to make you a pedophile. They're not going to make you a misogynist. They will not make you an incel that makes you objectify women. That shows me what their priority is. They're so concerned over a fictional drawing rather than helping real women out there in the real world. And I've actually find disrespectful to actual victims of sexual assault or misogyny by comparing their experiences to a silly cartoon or drawing. And I find it really funny how these feminists can cry about depictions of female characters, but they never really do it about men, which is actually quite funny, because I feel that a lot of these women are only saying this is because they're very insecure. I usually find that they're mad about these drawings and anime girls and fictional women, either because of their own insecurities, mostly because of the fact that they either had to face competition against fictional women, or because of the fact that these women have massive body issues. The reason why they are is because it's a reminder of their own failures. It's about the fact that anything that gives a man pleasure or titillation, or even gives him even the base feeling of joy, is socially unacceptable these days. What I'm afraid of is that there are a lot of people out there who cannot tell the difference between fiction and reality. And that just shows to me how much of a detriment the focus on realism is on art in general. And it bothers me that so many people just are creatively stagnant these days. You know, it bothers me that so many people out there are more willing to hold on to puritanical beliefs than just embracing the human form. And I know this is going to sound a bit weird, but as a guy who really enjoys art, I can't believe that there are so many people who pretty much describe themselves as left-wing or liberal, basically say that they oppose the nude body or oppose the human form just because somebody might have any sort of sexual pleasure out of it. That doesn't mean that people who create lewd art or art that is of a sexual nature are automatically indicative of somebody being a complete degenerate. What I have to say is this: nobody should ever have to police their own artwork or restrict their creative process just because a few Tumblr refugees freaked out about it. The reason I call them Tumblr refugees because these are the same people who damn near shut down an entire website because they couldn't stop freaking out about somebody having a different taste in art. These are the same type of people who will call for censorship for your hobbies and passions. And I will say this: do not give them that vindication. Do not swallow the line of bullshit that these people will feed you, saying that you're an incel for drawing women with big boobs. Fuck these people. Fuck them. I just have to say that. Fuck these people. They don't care about anime. They don't care about video games. They only care about pushing their religion, the religion of social justice, onto you. What I have to say is this: You're not a bad person for defending your artwork against a bunch of moral authoritarians who have never created anything worth a damn in their entire life and never will, because they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about your hobby. They definitely don't care about how you feel about things. They're gonna do what they're gonna do because reasons. These types of people will not give anybody even the slightest amount of joy in a world that is becoming increasingly bleak each and every day that passes. Anyway, I'm glad that people are fighting back. I'm glad that people in the nerd community, basically in the gaming community in general, that are pushing back against this nonsense. And I am very, very glad that people are not swallowing this bullshit anymore. Feminism has done nothing but bring people anger, misery, and dissatisfaction. And honestly, I think we should have a little TNA in our lives just to make our day a little bit brighter. I'm going to end this video by reading a quote by the artist named Frank Franzetta. Quote, "Everybody knocks my female figures. They say they're overblown, that women don't look like that. And I agree. Certainly all women don't look like my paintings, but you can't deny that some women do look like that. I don't want to just paint another woman. A painting is something important. You want to look at it, maybe forever. Who wants to look at an ordinary hero forever? You want the ultimate. You want to pull out all the stops and do everything in extremes. The extreme in beauty. If it fits, the extreme in ugliness. If it fits, the extreme in terror. If this is what's required, you know, I think it's the reason that so many people enjoy my stuff. Because all of these extremes are jammed into it." End quote. Anyways, that's all I have to say today, folks. This is probably my first video. It's probably my first serious video. And I want to get your opinions on this. I want to get your opinions on what you think about my videos. I'm probably going to make more videos like this in the future, but I always like to keep everything fun and lighthearted. I mean, you'll let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, people, thank you for watching the video. I will see you next lesson. You all dismissed.
I'm so glad Lord Sakusa brought me that man in his stead. Oh, and he's right over there.